Dartmouth wants outdoorsy adventurers. UPenn wants business-minded pre-professionals. But what about MIT? In today's video, I'll be breaking down what MIT admissions officers are really looking for, advice from MIT students and alums, as well as free resources you can use to skyrocket your chances of being accepted to MIT. Product, produce, and production. These are the three words you need to keep in mind while crafting your application to MIT. Don't believe me? Well, take a look at this excerpt from the MIT admissions website. Take their word for it, not mine. MIT is an active, hands-on place. Innovation is risky and messy. Getting your hands dirty and trying something new is often the best way to achieve success. We apply theoretical knowledge to real-world problems here. Our Latin motto means mind and hand. In other words, you shouldn't just enjoy thinking, you should also enjoy doing. So, MIT is not looking for philosophical thinkers or people who just do hardcore research. If that's what you're into, I recommend applying to Princeton or Yale. Those places love theory. Ultimately, MIT wants students who learn, do, and aren't afraid to take risks in the process. Take Cody, for example. Cody loves producing designs on SolidWorks and has a passion for 3D printing. As somebody who lives in Florida, Cody's favorite animal is the manatee. She genuinely loves environmental conservation just as much as CAD. So her sophomore year, Cody decided to apply her skills by organizing a local beach cleanup. But with a twist. To make the project more fun and exciting, she 3D designed and printed out litter pickers. A quick note, guys, production is an extremely broad word, and it can honestly entail anything from designing a clothing product to coding a tech product to producing a short film. In an ideal world, you would do all of the above, but I know as a high schooler, you guys are spread a little thin, so what this really means, though, is that you guys should be a bit more picky and choosy with the projects that you come up with, right? Spend at most an hour writing down a couple dozen ideas, then identify the top 3 to 5 that you're most interested in. I want you guys to consider, how will I grow from this project? What skills can I gain? And most importantly, am I genuinely interested? Do I honestly care? Will I enjoy the process? The reason I'm so adamant about these projects is because it's going to be incredibly hard, if not impossible, to get into a school like MIT without one. These days, they even ask for a video maker portfolio, which if you're running low on ideas for your project, feel free to check out some successful examples here. Another word of advice, if you've ever tried producing something and it sucked, well, just remember that failures are part of the production process. Do not be afraid to talk about the risks you took and the ones that didn't pay off. Look here, did you know that there's an MIT essay question that asks just that? How did you manage a situation or challenge you didn't expect? What did you learn from it? MIT is acutely aware that engineering means doing, and doing means failing. Focus on your growth. That's even more important than your achievements. Honestly, some of the best essays that I've seen are about failure as opposed to success. Moving on to part 2. What do MIT students, aka Beavers, have to say about this place? Despite all the diversity and interests, demographics, and cultures at MIT, most Beavers would agree on one thing. Pranks are amazing. MIT students don't just learn to code so that they can be software engineers at FANG. They also do it so that they can hack into the light systems of campus buildings and play Tetris. And did you know that in 2009, MIT students built an upside-down room, which even featured an upside-down cat? Or that Beavers once put a fire truck and snowman on top of the Great Dome, MIT's signature building. Why? Well, honestly, to just say that they did. Now, you might be thinking, Kev, this is cool and all, but what in the world does this have to do with my application? Well, it's because these pranks effectively prove that MIT isn't a cold, dark prison where all you do is study engineering until your mind explodes. In fact, these days, it's known as a huge party school. So, this means that in your application, don't try to appear overly smart. MIT admission officers are pretty smart themselves, and they can figure that out just by taking a single look at your transcript, activities lists, honors awards. Instead, in those 5 200-word essays, focus on all the fun, quirky things that you're genuinely unashamed of and proud of. Whether that's building costumes that take cosplay to the next level, learning to eat fire, or building ninja warrior courses for squirrels in your backyard. I hope you enjoyed that quick break. Moving on to free MIT resources. Check this out, guys. Not all universities have this, but MIT does have a YouTube channel called Opencourseware, which features recordings from hundreds of different lectures taught by dozens of MIT professors on every subject imaginable. Returning to our imaginary friend, Cody. If Cody wants to get into MIT, Cody better watch the recordings on Opencourseware about 3D modeling and environmental engineering or conservation. Then mention this detail somewhere in her MIT application. A really good place to talk about this would be in her response to this MIT essay question. What field of study appeals to you the most right now? Tell us more about why this field of study at MIT appeals to you. When it comes to this prompt, too many students fail to pass the school-specific test. They mention generic details. They don't even add proper nouns. Then the students who do add proper nouns tend to fall into another trap. They don't connect the courses they hope to study or professors they aspire to perform research with to their previous experiences. Here is how you fix that. Pretend you're Cody. Start by watching Opencourseware lectures, then apply the concepts you learned in the YouTube video course to your environmental projects. Some particular videos that might be helpful for someone like Cody are modeling environmental complexity and digital design fabrication. Again, it's all about the application of knowledge. I cannot stress this enough. Not the mere absorption, right, or consumption of knowledge. It's about using the information you gained and producing something with it. Imagine if Cody wrote about how she used concepts she learned from MIT professors to create a litter picker that was, wait for it, made from the very same trash she collected on the beach. Like a litter picker made from recycled plastic, glass, or silicone. But wait, there's more. I've saved the best resource for last. MIT blogs. I just spent a couple of hours perusing these articles, and honestly, all I have to say is that these are so random. Like, take a look at this article written in January called Uncanny Valley. I'm gonna make you poop your pants, where this girl talks about using her art to power chaos. Or this article written by Amber about ripping shirts and other clothing mods. These are the types of one-of-a-kind details you're gonna wanna mention in that why MIT question from earlier. The thing I really appreciate about the blogs is that they're all written by undergrads in their own voice. It's not overly sterile or formal, something I often see from other school newspapers. It's authentic, weird, quirky, a perfect representation of MIT. In closing, I'd like to say that these days, it's not enough to be a great engineer. That's like having a good GPA, you know? Instead, I'd really focus on emphasizing how you've applied the knowledge you've gained in funky, funny ways. Talk about your failures more than your successes. Sprinkle in those MIT details. And don't worry if it comes across as a little strange or bizarre, since that, my friends, is exactly what MIT is looking for.